Hello, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Hope you're having a great week so far. So today I received a request to do a video from someone who I know and apparently watches my channel, and I watch their channel as well. But I received a request to do a video about Sports Card Dad channel, and his most recent episode, Geoff Wilson is the card hobby goat. And I'm not gonna play the episode because I have been hit with copyright strikes in the past, and I'm just a small channel, so I'm not gonna even play it. But the thing about Geoff Wilson, and I know there's a lot of hyper focus on Geoff Wilson and his card shop, is the fact that, well, we live in the USA, and my entire life of dealing with wealthy people in the USA, well, we all know how it works. If you come from a wealthy family and you're a millionaire, you're going to get everything you want in this life, especially in the USA. I mean, I know Geoff has received PPP loan money, and that totally makes sense to me. And why is that? Well, the government likes to just give millions and millions of dollars to millionaires, like, they're struggling people. And this video where Sports Card Dad is going over, another video where these people are doing a podcast and talking about how Geoff Wilson is the card hobby goat, even though they don't really are interested in him or watch him. Well, maybe they're making a point. Because millionaires get whatever they want. Now, Sports Card Dad's not doing, episodes about my channel. Why would he? I'm just a struggling middle class business owner. I've always more or less been wearing those shoes for most of my life. Living in the middle class, lower middle class, whatever. Hell, I've even lived in my truck in college for a while. I was homeless. That is much different than Geoff Wilson. Now, the way I look at millionaires and wealthy families is probably different than you. When I grew up, I had a girlfriend, my high school girlfriend, and she came from a very, very wealthy family. Her father was a doctor, came from a wealthy family as well. And so money was very important to her. Now, I made a mistake and I went out with her. I should have gone out with this other girl who I was seeing who came from a lower middle class family like myself, and I still regret doing this so much because I spent 4 years going out with this girl. But here's the issue is during those 4 years of going out with her, now mind you, she's like lived in a millionaire family or close to it. I am giving this girl everything. Now, can you imagine me working, 30, 35 hours a week? And this is what I was doing. I mean, especially like about the last year of our relationship, last year and a half, is I would spend my whole paycheck for this girl, buying her presents, buying her flowers, buying her gifts, whatever she wanted. And I was doing it over and over and over again. And, as we were going out, I would do the best I could, considering, what I was working, back then. What was I earning, like, $4.25 an hour? I think eventually got bumped up to $5.25 an hour. So I'm working like, almost full-time hours doing minimum wage. I'm literally giving this girl everything I can give her. Everything. And when she broke up with me eventually, she was just carte blanche honest. And she flat out told me the reason why that she didn't want to, keep going out with me or marry me was for the fact that I came from a lower middle income class family. Yeah, no kidding. And she said that she met a guy who was from a wealthy family like her, who, they own a business. And he just fulfilled everything, that I couldn't. Even if I was spending my whole paycheck buying her gifts, even if I was, jumping through hoop after hoop after hoop, to try and do everything I could for her. And it really just came down to the fact that no matter what I did, no matter what I sacrificed, no matter how many times, I would do things for her, it never mattered. And that's just the nature of the USA, That's the way the USA works is, hey, if you come from a wealthy family, if you're a millionaire, you're going to get everything you want in the USA. You can look at our political structure that we have right now. Let's be honest, Donald Trump, I've grown up with him. I've never met him, but, I was watching him in the 80s, 90s, whatever. And he's always gotten whatever he wants because he's a millionaire. I mean, he's the president now. That's just the way the USA works. If you're a millionaire, they're going to treat you like you are the poorest man on the planet, give you millions of dollars. PPP loans, and then you don't have to pay them back. The government, the USA, the nation is going to bend over and do everything they can for you. And that's just the nature of it. And so I can understand why these people are calling Geoff Wilson the GOAT because, they're saying that, sports cards have never sold as much as they have in the last 5 years, which, to me, that had a lot to do with the pandemic. But still, everyone wants to smell, like it says in there, Geoff Wilson's farts whenever he farts, And it's just like, I don't even care. I've dealt with millionaires. I'm trying to build my business, whether it's online. Now I've been approved to locally build my business. I prefer more of a challenge in life. And not everyone does. I mean, I'm sure a lot of Americans would like to be born into a family like Geoff Wilson, where you don't have any struggle. Everything you want's given to you. Every woman you go out with is just fawning for you, because you're from a millionaire family and, that's so important in the USA. It's driven in, they're better than everybody else. So, I'm looking at 3 videos here pretty much about Geoff Wilson from Sports Card Dad. So there's definitely a hyper focus on him. And I know he's done interviews, with Geoff Wilson. I mean, let's be honest here. I watch Sports Card Dad. I always enjoy watching him, but, he's not ever going to interview me. Why is that? Because let's be honest here. I'm not a millionaire, man. And so that's my take on why the world of sports cards is kissing Geoff Wilson's ass. Just putting that out there. That's just the way life is. So, maybe you have some different takes on it. But I don't see sports cards changing. To me, sports cards are a lot like my ex-girlfriend from high school, that I went out with for 4 years. I plan on marrying. And I was basically told carte blanche, no matter what I do, no matter how much I spend, no matter how many times, I buy her gifts and flowers and do everything I can, I will never be that person who comes from a wealthy family who in her mind is the only type of person that she should be going out with. And for me, the viewers on YouTube are the same way. The USA operates in the same way. Hey, if you come from a lower middle class family, I hate to be the alarm bell, but you're not going to get treated the same way. Face it. You're not going to be called the GOAT for all your struggles and all your, adventures and gains, losses, whatever. You're always going to be, kind of like me, low class. And wealthy people can't relate to us. They can't relate to the struggle. And that's another reason why I think that so many wealthy Americans really just like to, I see it constantly destroy, their fellow struggling low-income Americans. It is what it is. So if you want to worship Geoff Wilson, that's fine. I'm just trying to get my channel up. I have until like October, I believe, on this channel to try and get monetized. If I don't have enough subscribers by then, I may just back off the channel significantly. And, at this point, I've been approved for local business. And just focus on the local business because, that's just what people like me do. We don't get the same opportunities in life, and we never have. And we never will. So while you're bending the knee to all the millionaire, acolytes like Geoff Wilson or, politicians like Donald Trump, all the millionaires in life who you believe are better than everybody else because they come from rich families, well, it is what it is. It's never going to change. So anyway, if you have any different opinions, leave some comments. And I'd like to thank my subscribers, my subscriber base, because you're the reason I keep doing episodes. Even though, I'm kind of winding down here, it doesn't look like I'll probably make, getting monetized. But hey, at least I'll keep doing it. And I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.